I think, very brave and courageous. And may I now request Ahmedabad Mirror. This is, you liked, I think you reviewed their. I don't know their names. Why do you want to expose? Why do you want to expose my problem with names?
Yeah. Hi, this is Shruti Panikar. I'm from Ahmedabad Mirror. And I'm with the features team. And for an editorial to do events is something not many newspapers indulge in. And this event, which we have been doing for 2 years, is called Artonama, where we bring together multiple artists, 45 artists who met children from different walks of life. They were mentally challenged children, they were physically challenged children, they were visually challenged children. And each artist had a talk with a child, and they spoke on the most inspirational woman in their lives. And for me, because I was supposed to write as part of the team which wrote the write-up for the catalog, the most inspiring thing was to see a blind student, a blind kid talking about his or her mom when he's never seen her, never ever seen her. And he's talking about the sarika texture. He's talking about the smells that he used to get when his mom was near. And for students who had 10% of vision, they could pick up colors. And they would talk about the sari colors their moms used to wear. So all of that was really interesting for us. And when the works came together, the artists were supposed to create works based on those conversations. So it was very challenging for them as well. So for us, it was something which we would call a revelation, because as a newspaper, we never thought we'd do something like this. So we're really glad that it was recognized as part of Laadli, because we really never thought this would happen. So thank you.
Things happen like that.
Yes.
Now, from Breakthrough. Breakthrough is known for its very powerful communication. So.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, sure. My name is Priyanka, and I actually work for Breakthrough, and we are an NGO based in New Delhi, and I work as part of their media and digital team. And we won this award for one of our campaign films, which was Share Your Story with Your Son. The one thing, and just to keep it very brief, the idea behind the campaign emerged from, usually when we decide our communication, it's always backed by research. And one of the things during our sexual harassment research that came out was, when we talk about sexual harassment, especially amongst young men between the age of 15 to 25, a lot of them don't actually understand what constitutes sexual harassment. So, we listen to the bigger cases, but even when it comes to everyday life, a lot of these activities that can usually be attributed to having some fun, just walking around, it really doesn't matter. Those are the kind of things that we wanted to address through our campaign. And the film really is about a mother talking to her son about her experience with sexual harassment while she's out on the road every day. And the idea behind it was basically twofold. One, to encourage conversations about sexual harassment within families. And also when we say that, it's usually the father talking to the son or the mother talking to the daughter. So that's one stereotype that we wanted to break. And the second thing was also to get young men to introspect about, it really isn't as simple as, oh, I'm just throwing a flower, it really shouldn't mean anything. And again, we generated a lot of conversations through this. Not all of them were positive. But in the end, if it's about just, creating thought-provoking content that makes people talk, I suppose we succeeded. So thank you so much for this honor. It's great to be here. And thank you so much.
Phalashi. Yeah. Wait, see, one name I remember.
Hi everyone, I'm Palashi from Menstrupedia. We make comic books for kids to teach them about periods. And I'm not the founder. I am, of course, just a part of the team. But the inspiration behind making the book, and that was the entry for the award, was the experience of our founder while growing up. And I'm sure a lot of us share the same, that we were never told about periods. It just came to us. We were just told about it when it happened. And I think it's unfair. And I think that was the reason why the entire research that backed it was basically going up to girls and finding out why, like what is it that they know about periods, what is it they don't know. And after researching, so they were both NID students, and they researched it while they were at NID, and then decided to make a comic book out of it, because I think teaching kids through workshops could get a little tricky if you're not able to hold their attention. So comic books are the best way to talk to kids that way. And we're really glad we got nominated and won this, and we won the Innovative Idea section. But what is really great is that I think we've really started talking about menstruation. Like, I think all the organizations here have started putting out the conversation, and I really want to thank everybody for making all of these conversations so public, because that's what we need to do. We need to talk about periods openly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's very true. This time the number of entries we have received, which talked about menstruation, is amazing. Like we have myths about achar se achar tak, and then there is in all languages we had entries on menstruation, and there was an entry which talked about how some sports women in Europe or US, I think US, have started saying how they should be treated differently because menstruation is an issue for them, and then how this is being taken into India, and then there is a lot of conversation and policy kind of a thing with the coaches, how the coaches should be sensitive to women sports persons. And there's also a big article on, there was also an article on how governments are not bothering about disposal of the sanitary napkins and the waste, sanitary waste, how we need to look at it in the country. So there were many articles, and I'm really happy that the conversation has started. And yeah, we cannot just ignore it. It's a part of our life, and we need to deal with it, and deal with it in a healthy and happy and, good fashion. So that's something really very nice. And sorry, you're from? Okay, Breakthrough. Okay. So now I think you're from? Sorry, I'm from Hindu. Okay. Mr. Dabral, would you like to say something about the change in advertisement, why you're taking up the women's issues, etc.? And your award-winning ad.
So we are first of all very thankful. My name is Sonal Dabral, and I'm the Chairman and Chief Creative Officer of DDB Mudra Group. And so DDB Mudra Group is an integrated advertising communications group with what we call the traditional advertising, film, print, along with digital, outdoor, everything. And I head the group in terms of its creative, look after the creative health. Now, Carrier Media Home Appliances is one of our brands, and it's part of the Carrier Media Group. So instead of doing kind of a regular ad that kind of just sells the product, this time, along with the client, we decided that the messaging has to be of a slightly higher order. And Carrier Media has always believed in this gender sensitivity, gender sensitive ads, and they've always believed in also helping empower the lives of women, of their target audience in whatever small way, although they make home appliances, to kind of ease the life of a homemaker. So this time the thought was to, instead of just selling your air conditioner or washing machine or, just doing a product ad, one of the thoughts we had was to do an ad which is of a higher order, which is a higher platform. And therefore, there was a story that this story has been kind of almost like in the folklore for some time. It's been there, this particular story of this husband returning home. So we gave it a kind of a newer spin, and this story of this husband who comes back home. And so it's not necessarily an ad, but it's like almost like a short film, a short story. this husband returns home and he finds everything kind of all over the place. There's absolute chaos. There are stuff that's broken, and there's things are in a mess, and kitchen is in a mess, and the whole house seems in absolute disarray. So there's a whole lot of intrigue that kind of builds as the film progresses. And he also finds his two kids playing outside. So he's now wondering what happened. He's just come back from office. And as he heads up to the bedroom, there he sees his wife who's on the bed, and she's got a laptop open and very casual, as if nothing has happened. So he's kind of intrigued, and in his typical male chauvinistic who take things for granted, that kind of and we wanted to dramatize also a bit, he asks her, "Ye sab kya hai? What happened?" And she just smiles and says that, every day you come back home and ask me, कि तुम रोज करती क्या हो? तो वो आज मैंने नहीं किया. And he kind of so it's kind of cheeky, a little naughty, but it's done with that kind of little bit of a cinematic liberty. We dramatized a bit to make a point, and we thought that at the end of it all, there should be some realization that shouldn't happen not only to him, but for maybe millions of husbands who are watching this commercial, and who we start to take a lot of things for granted. And I think the idea was that through this story, we kind of poke holes in that and provoke people to start rethinking. It might be a very small thing, but at the end of it all, these little questions, these little notions that we kind of grow up with right from the time that we are kids, that a girl is supposed to be, from the time that the girl is playing those house while the son is playing doctor, these notions get in your head from that time, and then these stereotypes continue to get built over time as we grow up. And so the idea is that we start doing communication that start to kind of absolutely pointedly picks these notions and breaks them, and but does it with a little bit of cheek, with a little bit of fun, because we still wanted to talk to a younger audience. So as the wife replies कि तुम मुझसे रोज पूछते हो कि मैं क्या करती हूँ, आज वो मैंने नहीं किया, right? The husband looks at her and he's like absolutely taken aback, and then he laughs a bit. He understands, and she also smiles. So between them, they have he has realized, and he's kind of stepped back, and he's realized his mistake. So just that's how we end the film. And then Carrier Media, Media's line comes, which talks about the fact that how, it's all about your empowerment. So we are very happy that this little bit of daring step that both the agency and the client took has been awarded. Thank you very much.
I've just come back from Goa Fest, and where Sonal Dabral, his legs must be aching. He and his team had to go up on the stage to collect a whole slew of awards. And he was just a roar of the thing, I must tell you.
And I'm also from an
Anybody from ELA? And any other advertising agency? Yeah, she spoke. Okay. Now, may I request Namita? Now, I know all their names. Namita to speak about her work very briefly.
Hello everyone, my name is Namita and I'm currently working in an NGO named Masoom. Previously I was working as a journalist. I have experience of four years, and then I moved to NGO field with the thought that I wanted to do real grassroots work, and then side by side I continued my writings. So that decision proved to be fruitful when I received this year's regional Laadli award at Chennai, and now also I'm here today for the fellowship of the same Laadli. So currently I'm working with an organization named Masoom, which is working with night school students. So there are many night schools in Mumbai, and the children over there are from poor background, and they work throughout the day and come to the school. So there are many activities we do with the school, and I'm working as a project manager over there, and side by side my writings are going on. Thank you.
Namita is a winner of our Laadli Fellowship, which we give for writing. This year's theme is gender and disability. So, Himmat Kataria. Himmat Kataria's article is on how humor undermines and how humor actually reinforces gender stereotypes. It's written in Gujarati, very much appreciated by the national jury. So, both short में.
एक जोक आया था मेरे मोबाइल पे कि रेप इज नॉट अ क्राइम, इट इज सरप्राइज सेक्स, और ये दिल्ली में जो घटना हुई उसके बाद आया था। तो मैंने सोचा कि एक घटना है जो किसी की जान लेती है और दूसरे की वही घटना ह्यूमर का सब्जेक्ट क्यों बन सकती है, और ऐसा तो ह्यूमर में कहीं भी नहीं है ऐसा उदाहरण। और फिर सोचा कि ये तो विमेन को टारगेट करने के लिए ये है, और फिर देखा तो मुशायरे में, कवि सम्मेलन में, थिएटर में, फिल्मों में, सभी जगह यही दिख रहा है। तो इस सब्जेक्ट पर कि महिला को ह्यूमर का सब्जेक्ट क्यों बनाया जाता है, उसके पीछे का रीजन क्या है, तो वो मैं मेरे आसपास में जो प्रबुद्ध लोग थे उनसे डिस्कस किया, और जो भी निकला वो मैगजीन की कवर स्टोरी में वो 7-8 पेज में मैंने लिखा, तो वो बहुत इफेक्टिव रहा था।
स्नेहा।
हाँ, मैं स्नेहा हूँ, स्नेहा खरे फ्रॉम भोपाल, पीपू समाचार में रिपोर्टर हूँ भोपाल में। मुझे सेंट्रल जोन का लाडली अवार्ड भी मिला है इस बार का, अब इस बार मीडिया फेलोशिप के लिए चुना गया है। थैंक यू। कुछ
That's too brief. Now मेरा मेमोरी टेस्ट होगा। Follow me, yes.
Hi, I'm Polumi Banerjee from Hindustan Times, Delhi. I won the Best Feature Northern Region this year, which was my second consecutive Laadli Media Award. And now I'm doing this fellowship on gender and disability. Gender and disability is something, though I've written a lot on women's issues and gender issues, gender and disability is not something that I have really explored till now. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really thankful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Is there anybody from week? Any more award winners or fellowship winners that I have left? Okay. There's one award winner, Sagari Chabra. She has written a book about freedom fighters. She has sent her small message. I'll read it out. To begin with, let me say I'm absolutely delighted to accept this award, not only because it acknowledges the hard work and many years of research that went into writing my book, In Search of Freedom, but that I am absolutely delighted that the Laadli Media Award has honored our unknown, unacknowledged women freedom fighters, without whose contribution and sacrifice we would not be walking in free India. I accept this award in all humility as a recognition of all those women who struggle to free India and the millions who struggle for their basic human rights and are yet to be acknowledged. Onwards, we march together to claim half the sky because we are half of humanity. But let us remember that the women's movement was meant to be inclusive, not exclusive. It is meant to anybody to embody humanity, compassion, and equality for all. As we stand today, there are millions of women without livelihoods, either shelter or even drinking water. I often wonder why there is no children's room in the thousands of buildings that mushroom across the country. Why is women's labor, domestic and personal, not assessed within the GDP? We have a lot to accomplish as we work towards a more compassionate society that places women and children in